orders are as follows. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to our Starfield playthrough, where we're still in the lodge, and I did go off screen and explore. I believe it was Bradbury 4, was it? So we have that out of the way, so it's not in the quest log staying there. And in the meantime, apparently Sam needs to talk with us again, so we're gonna talk with him first, and then we're gonna talk with Vlad. So Sam, what's this
Late at night
about?
in dive bars, sometimes the old timers share stories about things they've seen that they just couldn't explain. Ghost stories, if you will. I've heard of things like the Starborn before, but they're real. Honest to God, real.
I mean, the universe is vast. It's arrogant to think we've seen it all.
But you carry on for centuries of exploration, and you can fool yourself into thinking you got it all figured out. Clearly we don't. So the obvious question is, what the hell are they? Everyone's gonna be thinking aliens, but maybe not. Their ships were incredible, but they still felt like ships. They had engines, weapons. I think I even made out a grav drive. If they were really alien, I would just expect it to be more alien, you know? I mean, it could be some secret Freestar Varun or UC tech, but I don't know.
Do you really think one of the factions could have technology like that?
I mean, anything's possible. But if someone, anyone, had that much of an edge on the others, the whole balance of power would shift, right? It'd be one hell of a conspiracy to keep it quiet. An even greater amount of restraint to keep it in your back pocket.
I mean, yeah, it depends how you look at it. You can say maybe they don't feel exactly alien. Maybe there's like universal law in terms of tech. Like, even if it's an alien, they still have to have something similar to a grav drive, shields, whatnot, and all that. Because if you just say, oh, I saw a grav drive, or I saw whatnot, you're like, oh, then that's not alien. That doesn't necessarily mean that. So yeah, I have no idea what the Starborn are.
Anybody that says they know for sure are lying. I'm gonna throw out another wild stab in the dark theory. Maybe they're from outside our known systems. Here's the hypothetical. Centuries ago, some brainiac scientists decide to play settler. But they go way, way beyond any place we've ever been to set up stakes. Once they get there, they make a few lucky breakthroughs, and their science just snowballs from there. I could see them getting further, faster, and hence become the Starborn.
I mean, that's definitely a theory. Like, any of this theory that we're throwing around right now could be potentially true.
How non-committal of you. One way or the other, we are not alone. And that's... that's both exciting and terrifying.
Hey. That was the conversation you wanted?
I know everyone's excited by the artifact. As much as I love uncovering new questions, I wouldn't mind a few answers now and then.
Any thoughts on the Starborn?
You mean what could be the biggest discovery in the history of humanity? Yeah, I've got some thoughts. Scans are still inconclusive, but I think we've seen enough to know that we're dealing with something potentially even more unusual than the artifacts. There are so many questions beyond just who are they? How did they find you? How do they know about the artifacts? Why has no one ever seen them before?
Don't worry, we'll get answers.
They did openly threaten you, as I understand it. I'd say that's something to worry about. It was one thing when this was just about us investigating the artifacts. A weird phenomenon that didn't come with creepy threats or questions about aliens or whatever it is that's going on now. I know we'll figure it all out in the end. It's just kind of a lot right now.
Yeah, we'll see.
Stay safe, okay?
Walter, anything
Hope my
else?
employees don't give you too much. Remember,
Cool.
you're representing all of us out there.
Right, Vlad, let's talk.
Oh, sorry. Was just doing some math in my head. Trade the gabs with you. You had a hell of a shake, getting bullied in the void. Starborn sure know how to make an entrance. Ready to head back out there? The Eye can help you find the artifacts, but I'm afraid she's blind to our new competitor.
I see. How many artifacts do you think there are out there?
No telling the exact number, but they're getting harder to find. Got some equipment, repairs, and upgrades on the making do list. The Eye's straining to her limits these days.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me any data.
Double check the safety and locks wherever you go, okay? Exploration's dangerous, even without some nefarious group trying to kill you.
Okay, Miatha. Right, so that's my next main objective. What about temples?
Good luck out there on the fringe.
First, what's your take on the Starboard?
Find myself thinking of the fleet. You know you can take a mark, you don't open comms. It's all storm and fire and sifting the wreckage after it's over. But if you're not so sure, you play the bully's gambit. Hope they don't challenge the threats you throw at them. Sound familiar?
Maybe they just wanted to avoid unnecessary violence? Who knows?
Maybe. All the worse for us, not knowing their intent. A striker lurking in the shadows has good reason to hide. Won't be easy to drag them into the light.
Okay. But I was hoping you could point me to another artifact temple.
Been poring over the charts, looking for another match. Think this one might just be it.
Okay. Vessel 3.
Keep both eyes on the back while you're up. Let's deal.
Also, while I'm here, yeah, you can have these 2 surveys, and then there's the Bradbury. Cool. And that's all the cash. Gonna take a while until you're gonna have your cash back. Andreja.
Never would I have imagined to encounter something like these Starborn. Now I feel that rather than having answers, we only have more questions.
So, okay, particle beams, energy weapons, stealth. I mean, we shouldn't be that surprised. Space is so vast, it must be full of things we couldn't imagine.
I suppose this proves that idea succinctly. Regardless of how impossible they may have seemed before now, I must say that I do not like being threatened by anyone.
I think they're clearly trying to scare us away from something.
If so, what would that be? Clearly, these Starborn are connected to the artifacts, which would mean that they are also connected to that temple you found. Did they make these things? Have they appropriated them? This all implies there is something more, something we do not yet understand.
You're not worried, are you?
I am never worried. Cautious, perhaps. It has always been necessary to prepare for the unexpected. This is just a bit more unexpected than usual. It seems to be how things go here in Constellation.
I mean, if we keep going, I suspect we're going to run into the Starborn again.
Yes. Given our first interaction with them, that seems likely. We will need to be on our guard from now on. They seem to know much about us. Perhaps we can learn more about them to make it even. We should return to our search then. There's still so much to do.
Indeed.
We've always considered ourselves explorers.
Or
This
they
really
talked
is
with
uncharted
you.
territory, isn't it?
Ah, Matteo. You really think the Starborn could be something like avenging angels?
There's certainly precedent, isn't there? We've been operating for a while now on the fringes of what we, humans, know and understand. Why rule anything out? I just think we should be open-minded, keep everything on the table.
I mean, yeah, you're right. We shouldn't make any assumption.
It's just like the artifacts. The more we learn, the more we can start narrowing things down. It's the argument I have with Walter every other week. Science and reason have their place, but so does faith. We have all of them at our disposal, and I don't for 1 second believe they're mutually exclusive.
I mean...
Take care of yourself.
Depends how you look at it. On the situation, to be honest. Right, where's... Sarah, for example. But...
Hi there. If you want to talk, make it quick. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
I'm expecting big things from you with this ship project.
Yeah, I'll try. Actually, I'm curious. I kind of doubt it, though. That's gonna be way better than what I manually constructed, though. Actually, wait, why am I looking for Sarah here? I think I have a feeling, yeah, they should be at the ship. Because I think I saw her moving towards the ship. Also, since I went off screen to do the survey, definitely they're back at the ship. Sarah and Barrett. Okay. So I'm just gonna manually go there and have a bit of a stroll. Also, off screen I decided to just leave 2 of the weapons that I had in my inventory in the captain's locker. One being the Deadeye, the pistol, and the other one I believe was the Ashta gun. I can't remember what was the full name for it. It's a heavy weapon that's doing quite a bit of damage apparently. And in the meantime as well, where is it? Put extra modifications
stones into the
on my guns as well.
She did. God, that was ages ago.
People Joe?
Which one I have? This one apparently have the most bullets.
Captain, hello. I am satisfied to see that you survived.
Okay.
Ah, love the smell of getting back into the harness.
Where is everybody else? Sarah? Barrett? It should be in the ships. Ora?
Books?
Are you talking to me?
Yes.
Odd way to start a conversation.
I guess it is. Do you have more books, or can you buy me more books? With real pages, a spine, the whole package. My book allowance is all gone and Dad won't get me more. So, books?
Hey, don't let her con you out of more credits. Her book allowance damn near bankrupted me.
Dad, this is between us.
What sorts of books are you into?
I like books about quantum theory and astrophysics. Or science. Or horses. Did you know that it wasn't until after the Industrial Revolution that horse speed was the maximum civilization speed for centuries? All of society was built upon horses. Imagine what they must have looked like for real. They look smelly, in a good way.
Whoa. So... are you for real? Just find out that there are no horses either? Come on. Nobody managed to get a horse out of the planet Earth, or maybe some DNA, something, trying cloning, or come on. Sure, here, it's just 50 credits.
Oh, Dad, you've made the best friend ever.
Well, now you done it. Now you can get pestered about books nonstop.
Yeah, a small price to pay for my education.
Indeed.
Now, the important question. Pizza. Favorite topping? And please don't say cheese. Dad loves boring old cheese.
I like meat. Whatever's handy.
Did you hear that, Dad? Meat! We have you outnumbered!
We could always get one of each.
True.
No, you lose. I have decided that I will stay. You have the Cora stamp of approval. I, seem to have left my stamp back on Dad's ship, but imagine it there, on your arm. Cora approves.
Ah, okay, that was cute.
Read any good books lately?
Sorry, this, how she said it. I wonder if this is a hidden Easter egg to Star Trek. With, in a certain episode in TNG. It was not read any good books lately. It was like, eat any good books lately? Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're not worried about this Starborn.
Worried? No, I think it's fascinating. I know they maybe seem scary at first, but what if it's just a threat display? You know, how lots of species will puff themselves up or show off their teeth and growl to scare off anything they don't like.
So you think it's just for show?
I don't know. I'm just a kid. I just thought maybe we shouldn't assume the worst.
I mean, threat display or not, they're not exactly animals. We shouldn't assume anything.
Right. We should just keep an open mind. Sure sounds like we haven't seen the last of them, so I guess we'll see what happens.
True.
Bye!
Okay, and apparently, we can talk with Sam. Sure, let me get that one out of the way.
I don't got many friends, so I figure I gotta level with you. My past keeps showing up. I should get ahead of it before I get behind it. Hell, this is tougher than I thought it was gonna be.
Is this gonna be his companion quest? I mean, no matter what happens, Sam, I'm in your corner.
That means a lot. When I turned 18, my dad used one of his many connections to get me my first real job. That, plus the magical co-family name, meant I was shipping freight out of Aquila. If there's a way to take the wonder out of space, it was working for that outfit. Every milligram of helium-3 accounted for, timetables down to the second, too busy to ever really appreciate anything. Or even look up.
I mean, you could do worse for the first job.
That's the way my dad looked at it. On paper, I see your point. But it was rough. So, an opportunity comes by from the boss man. He says, run this job, don't ask questions, and there's a bonus. Hell, I was still just a kid. I jumped on it. I knew I wasn't shipping some dried mangoes, but suddenly, God help me, it was fun.
What was so fun about it?
Up until then, I tried my best to be the dutiful son. I hated it. But man, I tried. This was a rush. It was a thrill. Lying through my teeth to customs, even that shady delivery guy. It felt like I was finally, truly living.
I see this not ending well, though.
You think? So, more jobs started coming. And everywhere I went, suddenly dangerous people were much better armed. I'd hear about armed conflicts and civilian casualties. Innocent casualties. And I'd pretend that wasn't me. Maybe I wasn't smuggling weapons, maybe I was carrying something else. As long as I never open the boxes, I can keep pretending.
Okay. I mean, you know, you didn't kill those people. Well, not directly, but I don't know. If you were smuggling weapons, then you're kind of an accessory.
Not directly.
Yep.
And I'd tell myself they'd get guns from someone else. But in my heart, I knew blood was on my hands. Soon the boss man's relying on me, and the pay was nice. We also started partying a lot together. Hard. There are whole weeks that are blank. Never had a lick of trouble. Till I did.
Were you that good at it? Oh, hey,
At the
Sarah.
time, I thought I was the bee's knees. But looking back, a lot of it was dumb luck. I swear my damn name got me out of trouble most of the time. Oh, you're a Cole like Solomon? They just waved me through.
Didn't you know you were walking a very dangerous path?
I had booze enough and drugs enough to never really have to look too hard in the mirror. I knew if I did, I wouldn't like what I saw. Or where it was going.
Yeah, sounds like your boss took advantage of you.
Yeah, but it takes two to tango. To this day, I don't know what I was running that last job. But it was tasty enough, a whole mess of Crimson Fleet jumped me at the rendezvous. Yeah, a sane man would have been scared. But I looked at my pissant trading skiff's dual cannons and shouted, "Oh, this is on!" Yeah, I blew up one of the pirates before they realized that I was out of my gourd. I managed to get them down to 2 left before every system I had was fried. I was done. And that should have been the end. But that's when the Rangers showed up.
With those odds, why did you even try?
It just felt right. Like this. This is what I was meant to be. And I was young, no care in the world. I thought, what, there's only 7 of you? I like those odds.
I mean, you must have been incredibly relieved when the Rangers showed up.
You think? And then, dependable and straight as an arrow, Lillian Hart came on the comm, and well, it's like hearing the voice of an angel. The Rangers took them out, no problem. All that's fuzzy, though. See, I passed out. And when I came to, Lillian was there. Seems the Rangers were impressed with me. Offered me a job. Yeah, by all rights, it should have been a prison cell, but Lillian, she saw something in me. And I took the job. And that's it. All my cards are on the table.
Okay, that's one hell of a first meetup story. Damn. And Lillian knew you were a smuggler?
Officially, my cargo was destroyed by the fleet. Unofficially, hell yes, she knew. She jettisoned it herself. I don't know why she did it, but she stuck her neck out for me. And after she helped me sober up and put the mess I was back together.
So that's it? Nothing more?
Look, I'm guilty as hell of smuggling who knows what. And there are people I dealt with, bad people, that would recognize me. But I swear I did more questionable stuff for the Rangers, under orders, mind you, than I ever did as a smuggler.
Really? Okay. I mean, don't think you're a kid anymore. You're probably a better person for it.
Well, after I hit bottom, I learned a lot. Fast. But the thing that scares me is Cora. I mean, I gotta tell her someday. Sometimes the way she looks at me, I'm not worthy of that. But to see that look gone...
I mean, I do believe when she's older and the time is right, you have to tell her.
Well, ain't that something to look forward to? Just so you know, all this is why Lillian is something else. And I really need to own that. And have a tough talk with Lillian. Tell her about that follow-through you mentioned. Cora's at an important age right now. Every visit counts. You can't flake on her. Well, for now, let's do something more cheery. Like getting a root canal.
What? Yeah, have fun with that.
Back for more, eh?
Hey, Sarah.
I wanted to talk to you, but honestly, I don't know where to begin.
About?
The Starborn's technology is simply astonishing. It's just almost too much to process.
So you've never encountered anything like them before?
Of course not. No one has. If an encounter with this level of importance had occurred in the past, I assure you that Constellation would be well acquainted with it.
I mean, you seem to be pretty shaken up about the whole thing.
Yes, I suppose I am. But you can hardly blame me, can you? You do understand the significance of this encounter, don't you? This is humankind's first contact with what I believe is an alien race. A race with technology that could be far superior to our own. Oh, we could learn so much from them.
Do you think they'd be willing to teach us?
The way they behaved, I'd say that's not very likely. If we are to learn anything from the Starborn, we're going to have to take the initiative ourselves.
Yeah, I'm kind of on you. On board with you with that statement. I don't think they'd be willing to teach us anything.
That's what disturbs me. Can't be a coincidence that these Starborn suddenly appeared after your experience at that temple. We know they're here to lay claim to the artifacts, but what's their true motivation? What aren't they telling us?
Yeah, that possibility too is disturbing if they have a hidden agenda.
It's very disturbing, especially with all of that cutting-edge technology at their disposal. Damn. Oh, if only we knew more about the Starborn. What their species is like, where they're from, how they're able to speak our language. I feel like a cadet on my very first day aboard a spaceship. My mind is absolutely swimming with questions.
Yeah, time travelers. I mean, that could be an option as well. I think they're clearly some type of alien life form.
Obviously. But there has to be more to these beings than simply originating from another world. Their name alone, Starborn. There's some type of hidden meaning there. Something that feels very old, perhaps even ancient. Whatever the case may be, I can assure you that Constellation intends to get to the bottom of this mystery.
If you had to guess, why do you think they call themselves Starborn?
I'm not really sure. Scientifically speaking, we're all born from the stars. Most of the chemical components of our body, carbon, oxygen, sulfur, are exactly the same as those manufactured by internal stellar reactions. Now, ask someone like Matteo the same question, and he'd probably give a more theological answer. But hey, it's all a guessing game anyway.
I mean, I think we should make every effort to learn about these beings.
Exactly. We must use all of the tools at our disposal to learn more about the Starborn and their connection to the artifacts.
I'll be there to help you every step of the way.
Thank you. I really appreciate your support right now. You know, it's funny. When I was a little girl, I'd lay on the ground and stare up at the stars. I was absolutely convinced they held a secret. I'd remain there for hours in silence, eyes closed, listening, waiting for the secret to be whispered in my ear. This encounter with the Starborn is that moment to me. The stars are finally whispering, and I need to hear what they have to say.
What are you expecting to learn?
Truthfully, I haven't the slightest idea. But just the thought that any of the secrets of the universe could be revealed from these Starborn is terribly exciting.
I mean, I myself have a few things I'll have to whisper in your ear right now.
Although I'm flattered that you think of me that way, there's a time and a place for that sort of talk. This is definitely not one of them. Well then, I've certainly wasted enough of your valuable time.
Just do be careful if you cross paths with these Starborn in the future. I wouldn't want to lose one of the most valuable members of Constellation.
Okay, does that count? Oh yeah, okay. It already counts as a chat with Sarah, because I just
I'm
got
here for you, my love.
No.
I'll be
Nothing new.
counting the minutes to our next chat.
Oh, you'll be counting a lot then, because our last chat was way back. Okay, yeah, Ashta Tamer was the gun. Anyway, I just noticed that it was activity talk with Sarah, and apparently it got combined. Anyway, so that's Miata. Where exactly would be this one? Either the cryo lab or the robotics. Oh, and this is in Polvo. Where I believe was Hope Town. Yeah. Okay. So apparently we're going back there. Now. Just gonna select the Overdesigned, which is still in the same area, more or less. Oh, where the clinic was, same system. So yeah, let's jump there. And if I remember correctly, I think I already visited the Star Yard off screen at some point. Not sure if this is the place I changed the looks on my ship to how it is now. It was like nothing of interest. Except maybe another like shipping quest that we did for the other Star Yard above Mars.
Hello.
Hello, Vasco.
You have a good day.
Don't tell Walter, but his Star Yard is pretty incredible. He's no empty suit, that's the God's honest truth.
Okay.
I'm proud to be a part of the Stroud-Eklund team.
Okay.
If I were Tile, I'd be
You're asking for technology that doesn't even exist, Frank. I'm good at what I do, but you're mental if you think I can pull off what you're asking. Tried and true is what we should focus on.
Tried and true is so dull, though. I like Frank's design, but maybe we could pivot it to more of a research vessel? Something suited for deep space exploration.
That's a great suggestion, but you know what? We haven't heard from Nev yet. Maybe she has some marketing insights. Okay, but what if... Sorry, hear me out. What if we went for the family recreation demo instead? It's a much bigger market than Explorers, and no one else is doing it.
Oh, seriously?
That's a little different than I think we were all expecting, but a really good point.
I also worry that would limit us creatively.
Hey, back up. Nev's got a point. It's something we could easily build. And I'm sure the number crunchers could make it turn a tidy profit.
Thank you.
But I do think a solid, no-frills ship with a large cargo capacity would be even more practical and doable, given our time frame.
Look, everyone, we need to come together if we're to succeed. Let's change direction and do a little thought exercise. Oh, this must be Walter's consultant friend. Please, come join us. We've been waiting for you. Hi there.
Really?
Hello.
So you're the project lead? What does that mean exactly?
It means I'm responsible for making sure our projects are carried through to completion. I'm not the one calling all the shots per se, but I do need to ensure the people making those calls are empowered to do that within the limits the executive set for us.
And have you been leading the R&D team for long?
It might surprise you to hear that no, I have not. This is actually the first project I've led for Stroud Eklund. I recently graduated with a master's degree in engineering management. I'm actually kind of surprised they hired me, but I was at the top of my class, so maybe they didn't want to lose me to some other star yard. Anyway, I'm grateful for the chance to do good work here.
So a bit of pressure for the first job for her. Hey, but yeah, I'm here to speak to you about this new ship project.
You must be Walter's colleague. He informed me that you'd be taking charge of Project Kepler despite the fact that we have a fully dedicated R&D staff already assigned to it. But that's okay. I'm sure that even though you have virtually no experience with this, you'll do a great job.
I'm sorry. Actually, I have plenty of experience designing starships.
Oh, I just assumed. You know what? I'm really sorry. I should trust Walter knew what he was doing. My bad.
Even so, we have plenty of designers.
As you probably know, we're tasked with coming up with Stroud Eklund's next hit starship. But we have budget concerns, market research to finish, and we can't seem to agree on a design. So I guess Walter sent you to resolve these issues. Have at it.
Okay, can you tell me a little about the team?
Sure. I'm Jules, R&D project lead. I was, the one making all the big decisions. I suppose I just coordinate now. You already heard from Frank. He's lead designer on the project, focused on the look and feel of the ships. There's Ella, another senior designer. She focuses on some of the more technical designs of ships. Went to school with Frank. Mike is our senior engineer, responsible for consulting on all the technical bits, the machinery, the computer systems, etc. And then there's Nev. She's here for marketing. It's her job to weigh in and sell this thing to consumers.
Gotcha. And what's so hard about choosing what kind of ship to build?
There are a lot of factors to consider. Who is our market and what do they want in a ship? Which components are we putting into it? How fast should it go? How much cargo capacity should it have? What color should it be? We need to decide every little detail.
Okay, yeah, I'm familiar with the process. Let's get to it.
Ah, right, so you mentioned. Let's move on to solving our budget issues then, shall we? We were charged with building the newest, hottest ship on the market, which won't be possible unless we petition the board for more money. So we have two new budget proposals. One will allow us to build what I consider to be a very sensible ship, but we'll have to make some tough design cuts. The other will allow us much more flexibility to put whatever we want into the ship. It's what I call the kitchen sink proposal. I don't love it, but it'll be next to impossible to approve. What should we go with?
Why can't you use the original budget you were given?
I'd love to, seriously. It would be a huge win for us if we came in under or at that budget. But none of the viable designs for this project can be made for that amount. I've already rejected that budget, so I have to go to the board regardless. And since you're now responsible for the major decisions, which budget proposal we go with falls on you.
Okay. What kind of cuts are you talking about that we would make for the sensible budget design?
It's more that we can only choose certain design elements at the expense of others. In other words, if we go with something in Mike's design, there's not enough money in the budget for what Ella wants. That's one of the reasons we haven't been able to agree on anything.
That doesn't exactly answer my question. Was not the question I was actually wanted to ask. I was actually referring if there's like design cuts that would actually make the ship maybe look good, whatnot, and all that, but high chances it won't be that safe. But then what's wrong with the kitchen sink budget? Wouldn't everyone get what they want?
While it's true we'd be able to afford to put anything and everything into that design, it's just not practical, and the board will put more pressure on us to see that it succeeds. I worry that without constraints, my team will be disincentivized to focus this ship in any given direction. And they'll try to cram in everything but the kitchen sink, hence the name. Who knows what kind of monstrosity we'd create if we tried to incorporate all of our designs? And would something that expensive actually sell?
Okay, that's a good point how she put it. But I still think, yeah, we can build whatever we want with a larger budget. Let's go with the kitchen sink proposal. The thing I'm thinking here is like to have everything available, or as much as possible available, and then we can go from there. You know, what is not gonna be put in the end. Compared with having a smaller budget and then getting frustrated, what do we need to put? And then after you put it and be like, actually we kinda needed that component as well or whatnot. So yeah, kitchen sink.
I was afraid you'd say that. Look, I'm the one who has to go to the board with this proposal, so before I can convince them this is going to be worth it, you're going to need to convince me.
I mean, we need to go big or go home. I know how we can sell this idea to the board.
Well, I'm all ears because it's going to take a miracle to convince them.
I know you're a brilliant leader because you listen to others' ideas.
Well, there's always room for personal improvement, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, we don't need to use the entire budget. Just gives us plenty of options.
I know how this works. If we have all those options, we're just going to eat up the entire budget using them all.
If I know Walter, he just wants this done. He doesn't care about the cost.
You know, as 50% of the Stroud-Eklund name, that might be enough.
I'm glad you're willing to see things from my point of view.
You think that means you can push me around? Not
really.
Look, I know you're confident with this budget, but I know there's no way I can get it past the board, so if you want it, you're going to need to figure out how to get it done yourself.
Fine. 100,000 credits. That's actually quite a sum. You know what? Screw it. I think I have like 600,000 key or 700. Yeah, I don't want to cut any corners. I'll front the additional cost.
Wow, that's really generous of you. That should cover what we need. Okay, yeah, why not? Let's put everything we can into the design.
You must really, really love science, bankrolling it like that. You know, Cora and I are working on an electric doohickey. It's in the incubation phase. You want to get in on the ground floor?
Great, that's one problem solved. I'll go forward with that budget proposal and we can move on. Next, we need to gather some market data. The best way to do this is to outfit your ship with some sensors and take it through some real-world scenarios so we can make more informed design decisions.
Why me? Aren't there better ways of gathering that kind of data?
Well, Mr. Stroud believes you fit in our target demographic. We heard about some of your adventures, and we tend to agree that getting data from someone like you will be helpful. Frankly, most of our test pilots played a little too safe, and the scenarios we run don't push the limits as much as we can get away with legally. But luckily, we don't have those same concerns with you, because you're not technically employed by us, and Walter trusts you.
So I'm your guinea pig after I gave you all that cash. Really? Now who's pushing around, huh? God damn it, Jules. Sure, whatever. Tell me what I need to do.
Great! Just pick up a mission or two at the mission board and proceed like you normally would. We'll collect the data when you return. If you take on a variety of missions, we can build a ship to handle a variety of scenarios. But if you just fly one mission, we can build a more focused ship. It's up to you. In the meantime, you might also want to talk with the team, get to know them, give feedback on their proposals, etc. Good luck out there.
Can we
This
talk
is
more,
going
Jules?
great! Just fantastic!
Okay, complete a passenger mission, complete a bounty mission. Right, I can give you some feedback on your design proposals if you like.
Oh, yes, I actually do have a proposal. I wasn't really expecting you to give me feedback, but why not, I guess. I'd like to see us branch out a bit more in the starfighter market. Bounty hunting and mercenary work are both big these days, especially among the hard-blooded free stars.
So how would we go about designing a starfighter like that?
We'd want to give it strong weapons, tough defenses, plus good speed and maneuverability. Most starfighters are fairly small, and the tricky part is keeping costs down with all those fancy modules.
Okay, so is really a lot of demand for starfighters in the consumer market?
I'm glad you brought that up. No, and yes, there's a lot of work out there that requires a capable fighting ship. But the real success comes from UC military contracts, which we would hope to attract by building a higher-end version of this ship platform for them.
I mean, kinda like it. That seems like a surefire win for the company.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'm hoping when the time comes, I'll be able to convince the others that's what we should go with.
Okay.
We'll talk later then.
Ella?
So, you're Walter's friend. I know he chose you to head this project as some sort of favor. Honestly, as senior technical designer, I was hoping to receive that honor, but there's always next time. Regardless, I'm excited to help you out. Do you have any experience building spaceships?
Yeah. Practically a professional at this point.
This is wonderful to hear. I hope for all of our sakes that you are not overselling your ability. Now, I know you've been asked to give feedback on our design proposals. Would you care for a brief synopsis of mine?
Can you tell me about yourself first? I'm just curious.
I'm the most senior designer on this project, for one. Despite all the acclaim he gets, I actually referred Frank to his current design position. He and I were in the same design program when we went to get our degrees back in uni. We support each other as friends as much as possible. Even when we disagree. I love my job here. But I dream one day of working for a small startup or running my own design firm so I can work on custom ships instead of mass-produced products.
Okay, tell me what sort of ship you have in mind.
Of course. But first, let me ask you this. What pilot demographic is currently being underserved by the current starship market?
I mean, I don't know exactly. So, why don't you tell me?
Well, you're not fun. My idea is a little less conventional. I believe we should invest in making a dedicated exploration ship, marketed towards citizen scientists. Sure, we and other manufacturers have lines of exploration ships, but none built with the average consumer in mind. It's my hope that we can jumpstart a new era of affordable, accessible space exploration, fueled by ordinary people like you and me.
Okay, how would you, or how would I design a ship like that?
I'd start with a small ship profile. It won't need much storage or passenger capacity. Then, of course, you would want an advanced grav drive to reach deep space and plenty of energy for extended flights. In order to keep costs down, it likely doesn't need expensive weapon systems or defensive measures. It won't need those where it's going. And of course, high-end scanners and other scientific equipment is a must.
Yeah, but not having guns and whatnot, that would make it a easy target to be raided. Not a bad concept, but it's a very niche product.
Yeah, that's what Jules said too. But at least that gives me something to think about. Thanks. I'll refine the idea and propose it next time, I guess.
What does your job here entail, per general?
Well, as a senior designer, I'm trusted to work on some pretty important features on these ships. Most of my work is on the technical features, designing them to be more user-friendly. Computer systems like navigation, targeting, you name it. It may not be as glamorous as what Frank does, but without me, these ships would be almost impossible for the average consumer to actually use.
Okay, and what do you think of the company?
Why do I feel like answering this could be a trap coming from someone who was sent here by Walter to step in and take over our project?
No trap, don't worry.
It's not like I have anything to hide. I used to think working for a super wealthy corporation would be terrible, but honestly, it's pretty great. They've been good to me, and the stability is way better than any startup. I've had opportunities I wouldn't have anywhere else, so yeah, pretty great.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Next, sure, Mike.
I'm wondering if we need another chef in the kitchen.
What?
Then again, I hear Walter brought you in to finally make a decision around here.
Has that been a problem?
Well, how do I put this? My co-workers are smart people. But between you and me, they're in way over their head with this project. Jules especially. She's new at being a project lead and has insisted we design by committee, so everyone's voice is heard. Admirable. But no one could agree on anything, and we're running significantly behind because of it.
Okay. But it sounds like you have an issue with me.
Well, quite the opposite, actually. See, I don't care who makes the decision, so long as someone does it. And said proposal doesn't make me regret getting into engineering. You get me? Speaking of which, I think my plan will get us where we need to be as quickly and efficiently as possible. It's simple, no frills, and most importantly, won't cause me any major headaches on the engineering side.
Okay, but first can you tell me about your role here?
Couldn't figure it out from the engineering talk? I'm an engineer, mate. It means I'm the one who's got to put together all these plans and actually make the bloody ship fly. Been doing it for going on 25 years at various star yards. They still haven't realized this place would fall apart if not for me. Instead of letting me get to my work, they keep giving me fancy new titles and got me tied up in endless meetings like this one.
Okay. Sounds like this project is hard on the engineers. Why is that?
Let me tell you. All the creative minds around here are so concerned with designing the most innovative and fancy ships possible. They never stop to think about the kind of work it takes to do that in a reasonable time frame. Yes, we're engineers. Our job is to make the bloody impossible possible. But that doesn't mean it's easy or practical. That and there's never enough of us to go around.
Okay. Sounds like a win for your team. Go on.
It's truth, and we need it. The others believe we need to think big and innovate. Reality is, we just need to do what we do better than anyone else. So I'm thinking, there's loads of fighters. No sense in mucking about with that again. And we've already got one of the best luxury liners in the biz. What I figure is, the cargo running business is booming, and no one's quite built a personal craft like that to serve the working class folk. Nothing fancy, no frills. Just a simple, sturdy, inexpensive ship with cargo room up the wazoo and make it so easy my cousin's little moppet could fly it.
Okay. Seems simple enough. Any other design considerations?
Our objective should be to build a huge ship with plenty of cargo room while keeping the costs low. Doesn't need fancy equipment, just the basics. Basic weapons, basic defenses, basic scanners. You get the idea. If we go with a design like that, I can focus on quality construction, and the ship will practically sell itself.
I mean, yeah, maybe you can make your pitch a little more exciting because then again, they're gonna be defenseless. Unless, yeah, of course, you can have like a convoy, escort and whatnot, but still, you know, yeah, maybe you can make it a bit more exciting.
Yes, of course. Zhuzh it up, just enough to disappoint me even more when we ultimately end up choosing something ridiculous. Thanks.
So you're kind of the lead engineer here, then?
Yep, that's me, innit? Been here since the start of the company. Done engineering for going on 30 years total. Though I keep telling them, It's senior, not lead engineer. I've got no interest in being lead. Too much management. Not enough tactile work. And yet here I am. Resigned to my fate on the R&D team.
Getcha. So you don't like being involved in research and development?
Nope. Not really. I like to think I don't have the ego for it. I've got nothing to prove, and I don't rightly care to make my mark on the industry. But all I want to do is build the best damn starships I can, and not get bogged down with all the excess particulars. But upper management loves the work I do, and they wouldn't let me say no to this. I guess they needed someone to keep everyone's heads out of the clouds, so here I am.
You're kinda a bit of a more practical guy. And
Oi,
what do you think of
something got your
Stroud?
tongue?
Eklund.
I assume you mean the company and not the people. Because even if I didn't already think so, I'd tell you that both Walter and Issa are great. The company's still kind of young as far as Star Yards go, but it seems to be going in the right direction, despite what it may look like. I've been doing this for a while at other Star Yards, and so far, we're avoiding a lot of the mistakes some of the older corps have made.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you for the information.
Take care.
Next. Nev?
Hi. Need something?
Yeah. You seem a little on edge. Something wrong?
Oh, no. Well, it's just... I'm a little new here, and everyone's got these big, flashy designs. And I'm supposed to come up with one too, but like, I don't know if it's as good or like, good at all, even.
I mean, probably right, but I need to hear all the proposals.
Wow, rude. But, okay, fine. Just maybe don't be an ass about it. So, I was thinking that we could really use a recreational craft in our fleet. But not like super luxurious like our Adonis pleasure yacht, something marketed more towards families. Something Mom and Dad could pack up and take the kids on vacation. You probably think that's stupid, right?
No. But do you really think that kind of ship is in demand?
I used to go off-world camping with my family when I was a kid. The other families we met always complained their ships weren't quite adequate for family vacations. They never had enough room, and the kids would always fight. I've done some market research, and like, no ship manufacturer seems to be making ships for things like this. Which means even if the demand is low, we can fill this niche and still sell a lot.
I mean, that is true. What would it take to design a ship like that?
I haven't thought of all the details, but I'd imagine lots of passenger space would be a top priority. A mid-sized ship with enough room for one, or maybe even 2 or 3 families to spread out and relax. I don't think it'd need any fancy weapons or scientific equipment, so it should be pretty affordable. Families don't want to spend a fortune, so keeping the cost low will help guarantee plenty of sales.
True, but then again, space is dangerous. So, again, they could be easily picked off by pirates, whatever, or whoever out there. So, if I'm being honest, it's not really my sort of thing. I don't know how well it will sell.
Well, you listened to my idea more than the others did, so I'll take it as a good sign. Thanks.
So, what's it like to do marketing for a ship manufacturer like this?
It's interesting. I'm new, and I've never done anything like this before coming here. Marketing for ships, specifically, that is. There are so many things to think of for different demographics, like style, features, cost, and all that. And you also need to think about offensive and defensive capabilities, because space is dangerous, and people need to feel like the ship they're buying is safe.
Exactly. See? You're on the page with me on that one. So you mentioned you were new. What did you do before this?
Yeah, I've only been here for a few months. I did a little marketing for Chunks before this, but it was really more of an internship. Ships are like totally different than that. I applied for the job here on a whim because I thought it'd be fun. I never expected to be hired.
Huh. So, do you like working here?
So far I do. But, just between you and me, I feel like I'm in a little over my head. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. But my bosses really seem to like my work, so I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm doing something right. I still feel weird pitching ideas to people who have been at this for so much longer than I have.
I mean...
see you later.
Any, new idea? Sounds good. Or bad. Depends. Okay, Frank, you're the last one.
You know, I have designed spacecraft for over 10 years. So, you must have really impressed Walter for him to give you this project. Or maybe it's a bit of nepotism. Never mind that. Perhaps he sees in you what he sees in me.
Right. Can you tell me about yourself?
As a designer, I see the beauty in our craft and deliver that to the consumer. My desire is to make flying in our ships a joy to all the senses. I have won awards. I am proud of my work. But I do not like to brag. Rather, my goal is to change the board's perception of employees like myself from mere cogs in the corporate machine to value us as artists and let us do as we please.
Right. I hear you, Tony Stark wannabe. What do you think Walter sees in you, or us?
My hope is that he sees the passion in our work. In truth, I know he values me, but he has yet to truly cut me loose from the corporate reins and let me do as I wish. But I understand Walter has given you much greater control of our project. Perhaps I can learn from you and convince him I'm ready for the same.
Cool. Let's hear it.
Ah, yes. At least you may be more open to my ideas than my colleagues. Maybe this is a blessing in disguise. Imagine a luxury craft designed for the most discerning of tastes. Every feature designed for comfort and peace of mind. High-end performance, precision engineering, a spacecraft for those who wish to be seen. This will be the most elite personal craft on the market.
And how would we design a ship like that?
The ship should be mid-size, spacious but not bulky. We'll want to build it with the highest quality, most expensive modules available. It should feel safe, but not threatening. Focus on defensive measures, not aggressive weaponry. Above all, you should be able to picture your favorite celebrity, or Walter himself, flying this ship and influencing others to buy as well.
I mean, you might be onto something, but I think you need to define your pitch a little better.
I think I understand what you mean. It is not enough to say it's a high-end luxury ship. Who is flying this ship? Where do they go? What is their story? And why do they crave such attention? Oh, thank you. I will think on this and improve on my proposal.
All right. What was that about wanting to sell the ship to celebrities? Why is that so important?
2 words. Conspicuous consumption. Are you familiar with this concept?
Not really sure.
Of course not. It's when someone buys something expensive, mostly because it is expensive in an effort to show off their wealth to others.
Ah, okay.
So, if we target what the wealthy elite and celebrities want, and sell the ship at a premium, they will buy it, and others will follow in order to be trendy. Imagine a star like Borealis is seen getting out of one of our luxury ships. Everyone is going to want one, so they too can feel like a celebrity.
And what's going on? Why so defensive about your design?
Because I am the lead designer on the project. It is literally my job to design it. It is frustrating because I keep getting pushback, and Jules has this idea that we will make a better product by designing it all together. Since everyone has equal say, it led us to a standstill. It was much easier before.
then why work here if you seem so unhappy with the things are right now?
Just because I do not like how corporate we have become doesn't mean I don't like getting paid. Besides, with every successful ship I design, I believe I can influence the company to shift away from typical corporate bullshit and back to taking risks by pursuing art and innovation. Then again, here we are.
Right, so you're a fan of I don't want to starve.
Yeah, see you.
Okay, but unfortunately, don't like your idea.
That data from your ship is going to be critical to our design process.
It will be.
Assuming
And
you
this is
can
the
handle
thing.
missions.
I mean, all of these guys, they don't really want to put too much into defenses of the ship, which again makes them easy pickings, in my opinion. So that's why I might actually think of a starfighter.
Progress now, I guess.
Okay, where's the mission board? Okay, Crimson Fleet at Valo. I could do the passengers as well. Or workers. I have passenger space, so we can do that. Unfortunately, I cannot do both. It's not 3 and 3, it's 3 and 4. And I can only carry 6, of course. So, yeah, I'm just gonna do a fighting mission. And isn't this actually... Oh, hold up. This doesn't say actually complete a passenger mission or a bounty mission. Cause yeah, I'm okay doing both and then decide at the end. But I kinda made my decision. Probably gonna go for a bit of a fighter style. But yeah, I'm just gonna do this off screen, the fight and whatnot, and see if the passenger mission is not crossed out. If it's not, then I'll just come back here and take a passenger mission and just ask for them again off screen. And then next episode we're gonna start probably around back here near the meeting, and we're gonna give our answers to them. But for now, we'll leave it here for this episode and continue next time. So hopefully you enjoyed this part. Words, if I can speak them. But as always, don't forget to take care.